In a quiet, sunny village, there lived a young woman named Salom. She was the kind of beauty that made people stop and stare. Her chocolate brown skin shimmered in the sunlight. Her thick braids flowed down her back, and her eyes sparkled like the stars on a clear night. But Salom wasn't just beautiful. She was also kind and hardworking. She was one of the best weavers in the village, creating stunning, colorful wrappers that everyone admired. Her reputation as a virtuous woman added to her allure. Salom was known as the village virgin, a woman who held herself to high moral standards, waiting for true love and marriage before giving herself to anyone. Many men in the village sought Salom's hand in marriage. They would bring her gifts, baskets of yams, jewelry, and even goats, hoping to win her favor. But Salom wasn't interested in their shallow advances. She longed for a man who loved her for who she was, not just for her beauty or her virginity. Her parents, however, were growing impatient. "Salome," her father would say, "you're not getting any younger. We want to see you settled and give us grandchildren before we grow too old." Among her suitors was Akum, the son of a village chief. Akum was a successful carpenter, well respected because of his father's position and his skill in crafting furniture for the king's palace. Akum approached Salom's parents and pleaded with them to persuade her. The chief himself visited Salom's father, saying, "Salom, my daughter, Akum is a fine young man. Please consider his proposal. He is serious about you." Out of respect for her father, Salom decided to give Akum a chance. He was charming and seemed genuine, and before long they were engaged. But as the wedding approached, Akum's true intentions began to show. He repeatedly tried to convince Salom to sleep with him, arguing that they were practically married. Salom held her ground. But one day, out of love and trust, she relented. That night, something strange happened. No matter what Akum did, he couldn't penetrate her. The pain was unbearable for Salom, and she asked him to stop. They tried again the next day and the day after that, but it was always the same. Frustrated, Akum revealed his true colors. "I only wanted to marry you because I wanted to be the first," he sneered. "What good is it if I can't even have you?" Heartbroken, Salom begged him to be patient, but Akum's pride and anger got the better of him. He ended the engagement and told the entire village about her condition. Soon, at this point, Salom was desperate to confirm if her condition was truly as she had come to believe. After Akum left, more men came forward to date her, and she decided to test her condition with any men she dated. The next man tried, but still could not succeed. Several men followed, but none could succeed. The news of her condition quickly spread throughout the village, making Salom a major topic of discussion. She was called names, and some even accused her of not having a private part at all. When she walked through the village, men would point fingers at her, some laughing and whispering. This was deeply frustrating for Salom. Gradually, all the men in the village began to avoid her, and with time, no man approached her anymore. The woman who had once been admired by all was now rejected by everyone. Salom's parents, devastated by their daughter's suffering, sought help from the village midwife. The midwife examined Salom and confirmed that her condition was rare. Her private part was too small, making intimacy and childbirth impossible. They tried every remedy the village medicine men suggested, but nothing worked. Despite her sadness, Salom poured her heart into her weaving, finding solace in her craft. Salom continued her life quietly, focusing on her weaving. Her colorful wrappers brought joy to her customers, even as she carried the weight of her sadness. One day at the market, she crossed paths with a man named Ugana. He was a successful trader from a neighboring village, known for buying and selling textiles. Ugana had heard of Salom's exceptional weaving skills and wanted to see her work for himself. When Ugana saw Salom's wrappers, he was amazed. "These are the most beautiful pieces I've ever seen," he said with genuine admiration. Salam couldn't help but smile at his kind words. They began working together, and over time they became good friends. Ugana's cheerful personality and respect for her made her at ease. As the weeks turned into months, Ugana realized he was falling in love with Salam. One evening after a busy day at the market, he confessed his feelings. "Salam," he said gently, "I love you. I admire your strength, your kindness, and your talent. Will you give me a chance to make you happy?" Salam was stunned. She had grown fond of Ugana, but her past experiences made her hesitant. She began avoiding him, hiding whenever she saw him approaching her or her weaving shop. Ugana was confused and hurt, but he didn't give up. One day, he surprised her with a visit. "Salam," he said softly. "If I've done anything to upset you, please forgive me. I only wanted to understand." His sincerity touched her heart. She decided to open up, asking for some time to gather her thoughts. A few days later, Ugana invited her to the riverside. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. "Salam," he said, "you can trust me. Please tell me what's troubling you." Feeling safe in his presence, Salam shared her story. She told him about her condition, the humiliation she had faced, and her fears of being rejected again. As she spoke, tears rolled down her face. Ugana listened intently, his heart breaking for her. When she finished, Ugana took her hand. "Salam," he said, "you are more than your condition. I don't care about that. I care about you. Love doesn't have to be defined by what others expect. Let me show you that we can create our own happiness." Salam was deeply moved by his words. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. Salam and Ugana began a new chapter of their lives together. He kept his promise, showing her love and affection in ways that didn't depend on physical intimacy. They shared laughter, dreams, and quiet moments under the stars. Ugana found creative ways to express his love, making Salam feel cherished and valued. Their relationship didn't go unnoticed. The villagers who had once mocked Salam were now intrigued. How could a woman with her condition find happiness? Slowly, their sneers turned into admiration as they saw how Ugana treated her with respect and devotion. Salam's weaving business flourished even more with Ugana's support. Together, they expanded her craft to neighboring villages, spreading her vibrant designs far and wide. Salam's joy returned, and her parents were relieved to see her smiling again. One day, while sitting by the riverside, Salam looked at Ugana and said, "You've taught me that love isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance and finding joy in the little things." Ugana smiled and held her close. "And you've shown me what true strength looks like," he replied. Their love story became an inspiration, teaching the village that happiness comes in many forms. Salam and Ugana had been married for 2 years, and their love was strong. Ugana adored Salam even though she carried a condition that made her heart heavy. Salam often wondered what if one day Ugana grew tired of her and left. These thoughts haunted her, along with her deep wish to share physical closeness with him and give him children. Ugana's family did not make things easier. They accused Salam of witchcraft, spreading cruel rumors that she had eaten her own children and made up her condition to hide the truth. They came to her home often, hurling insults that made her cry. But Ugana stood by her side, fiercely defending her every time. Despite his support, Salam felt isolated and defeated. One day, Salam sat in her shop, tears rolling down her cheeks as she looked at the colorful threads and unfinished weavings before her. The insults and cruel whispers of Ugana's family weighed heavily on her heart. She felt the walls of her small home closing in, the vibrant life she had built seeming fragile under the storm of doubt and scorn. Ugana walked in quietly, sensing her sadness without her needing to speak. He knelt beside her, taking her hands in his own, his dark eyes filled with unwavering determination. Salam, he said softly, don't let their words define you. I chose you. I love you. Nothing else matters. Salam shook her head, her voice trembling. But Ugana, their hatred, their rumors, what if it never stops? What if I'm never enough? Ugana lifted her chin gently. You are more than enough. Your strength, your heart, your talent, these are what matter. And as for them, let them talk. We know the truth. And the truth is our love. Despite his words, Salam felt the ache of longing in her chest, the longing to feel physically close to Ugana, to share that part of herself she had been denied, to give him children and fulfill the dreams that had once been so painful to imagine. She buried her face in her hands, sobbing softly. Ugana held her for hours, letting her cry, whispering words of comfort, never once leaving her side. Weeks passed. The village murmurs grew quieter as people began to see Salam's unwavering strength and Ugana's devotion. They couldn't understand it, but they started to respect it. Some even came to her shop, curious about her weaving and the life she had built. Salam began to regain her confidence, focusing on her craft and on Ugana's companionship. One evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, Ugana brought her to the riverside. He had prepared a small picnic. Her favorite woven blankets spread on the grass, lanterns glowing softly around them. Salam, he said, taking her hands in his, we may not be able to have children in the way everyone expects, and we may face challenges that no one else will understand, but we can still have a life full of love, joy, and family. Our family is the one we choose. Salam looked into his eyes, seeing the depth of his commitment and the sincerity of his heart. She realized then that love wasn't about perfection or meeting every expectation, it was about being cherished, understood, and celebrated for who she truly was. Tears of relief and happiness filled her eyes as she leaned into him, feeling a warmth she had never known. Together, they began to redefine their lives. Ugana helped expand her weaving business further, bringing Salam's designs to distant villages. They mentored young artisans, teaching them not just weaving, but the courage to pursue their passions despite judgment or doubt. Salam became a symbol of resilience, a woman who had faced heartbreak, humiliation, and physical challenges, yet chose hope and love. Time passed, and though they never had children of their own, their home was full of life. Friends, apprentices, and neighbors came to visit, drawn by Salam's laughter, her vibrant creations, and Ugana's gentle humor. She found fulfillment in teaching, in nurturing, and in loving Ugana in ways that transcended physicality. One quiet evening, as they sat by the fire, Ugana held Salam close. "You've taught me so much," he whispered. "You've taught me patience, strength, and the true meaning of love." Salam smiled, resting her head against his chest. "And you've shown me what it means to be valued, no matter my flaws. Together, we've created a life richer than I ever imagined." In time, the villagers' whispers faded, replaced by admiration. People told her story to their children, not as a tale of sorrow, but as a story of courage, love, and the power of seeing the heart beyond appearances. Salam and Ugana's love became a legend, a reminder that happiness comes in many forms, that acceptance and devotion can triumph over judgment, and that true love is as much about the soul as it is about the body. And so, beneath the glowing sun and starry skies, Salam found peace, joy, and a love that could never be broken, her legacy woven not just into the threads she crafted, but into the hearts of all who came to know her story. So tell me, what do you think? Was Salam carrying more weight than anyone realized? And did Ugana truly fall for her, or was their connection its own kind of mystery? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious how you see their story. If this tale caught your attention, even for a moment, share it with someone who enjoys a good, thought-provoking story. And if you want more stories that spark conversation and stay with you after they end, Tap the subscribe button, leave a comment, and don't forget to share. Because here, we don't just watch stories. We think about them.